Hello and welcome to another Charity Toolkit video by Andy Best. This video is about Donorfy's web widgets because it occurs to me that the majority of what I do for charities and website integration work pivots around Donorfy's web widgets, and yet I don't have any content about that on this channel. So what I'm doing is I'm developing a mini series of videos that showcase some of my favorite Donorfy web widget integrations that I've built over the years. Before I get into this example, if you're not sure what a web widget is, particularly if you don't know how one differs from a Donorfy form, I recommend you first come and have a look at this video in the Charity Toolkit channel. It's called Integrating with Donorfy, a presentation given at the Donorfy conference March the 7th, 2024. If you have a look at around about the 10-minute mark, the 9-minute mark, there's a pretty comprehensive breakdown of what the web widgets are and how they work and how you configure them. This example is for Navigators charity, and the web widget integration begins here. This is a bit different, a bit more heavyweight than the other examples in the mini series that I've uploaded to my channel. The reason being that we have a context assignment field, if you like. So we are supporting of one of our reps. So Navigators has a bank of representatives that operate within the organization, and it's possible to support one of those specifically by way of donation. So if I fancied giving a one-off donation of £100, I'll tell you what, I'll take the default there, £100 donation, and I'd like to ensure that that donation reaches the Ukraine Refugees Clegg Fund. I can select that from the drop-down list. If I would actually have made an error there, and I'd rather have gone to AMD, no, that doesn't return anything. Here we go, Adam Simmons. I can select him instead, and that's kind of verified for me there as my selection to move on. Of course, if what I type is complete nonsense, I've got the option to select general. This will be an unrestricted fund that this ends up in, or my fund isn't in the list, in which case we are prompted on the next page of the flow to supply our own. It's a free-form text field on the next page to supply what I believe ought to be the name of the person in the list. There may well be good reason why they're not there, or I may just simply be spelling it wrong, or the list is somehow not updated. Although the reason that this list is even here is that we have built into the back end of this website a live lookup to this charity's Donorfy instance, and it's returning all of these names. These names are funds that this client has. It's returning all of these names that are active, and so every one of these is a direct fund connection to Donorfy. I'm just going to pick Edward there now that I've had that list open. If I move forwards now to page 2 of the flow, we move on to what's effectively the data collection, the data capture element of the donation, and all the fields here are what the connected payment gateway or Donorfy need to properly process my donation and me as a donor. The page opens with the reiteration of what I'm donating, the value, and also the fund, the recipient representative who is going to benefit from that donation. Comms preferences, mailing list opt-ins, gift aid. Again, it's using a live calculation based on the value I'd elected in step 1. Payment fields for processing the donation. We've got a couple of extra fields here. I can opt in to a 4% processing, cover the costs of processing. Again, that will be a live lookup of that 4% against what I'm donating. I can opt into that, and what that does is it inflates the total behind the scenes so that when I commit, it will be larger than the value I'd opted into here, by £4 in this case. And we've also got this flag for because I've elected an individual that I'm donating against, I can opt out of alerting them to that fact. I can remain anonymous if I wish. This will pass through as custom data in Donorfy, and it will be then treated sensitively by the comms by the organization thereafter. So the web widgets don't support the means to attribute a custom fund on the fly. So what's actually going on here, this is where the web widget stops and where a trigger and an API take over. And by that combination of trigger and API, we are able to retrospectively update the donations fund from a temporary repository to what was the elected repository, the really elected fund here. It's a bit larger than the scope of this video, but yeah, it's really gotten us out of a tight squeeze of having so many funds to cater for back in the first view.